this presentation, our grouping paired the movie Maleficent and Beowulf using setting, characters, plot, and symbols.
The story of Maleficent follows the hero's journey just like Beowulf. Similar to Beowulf, Maleficent has motivation to complete her goals. Beowulf has been motivated by his desire to leave a lasting legacy and repay Hrothgar for the help Hrothgar provided to Beowulf's father. Maleficent has motivation because she lost her wings and is seeking revenge for her lost power. Most heroes have a tragic event or some sort of motivation, and both Beowulf and Maleficent have that. Both stories also have an example of crossing the threshold. In Maleficent, this is when Maleficent places a curse on Stephen's child, Aurora, that she will go into a death-like sleep when she turns 16 and can only be awoken by true love's kiss.
Yeah.
This is the point where the story changes and the curse cannot be reversed. This could also be considered a shift into the special world in the heroic journey. In Beowulf, this transition is also made when he goes to see Hrothgar to help him with his problem with Grendel. Another example of the heroic journey shown in both Beowulf and Maleficent is resurrection. In Maleficent, this is when the curse is broken by a kiss from Maleficent to Aurora. This shows the point where she was awoken and has come back, with both of them changed from the experience. In Beowulf, his funeral serves as his resurrection. His funeral guarantees his story and name will be known forever, a resurrection itself.
Maleficent is a fairy and lives in the woods, related to Grendel because she is a fairy and not welcome in the king because of it. And Grendel is a monster and isn't wanted to be around for parties or social gatherings in the village. Both are shunned with no true understanding of why they are left out. They also both home in the woods, which is secluded from society for nobody to know where they live. Maleficent is also the mentor of King Stephen's daughter, Aurora. Aurora is nurtured by three fairies, Flittle, Knockrass, and Thistletwit. She leaves them and finds Maleficent in the woods and goes under her wing and tells her that she will support Maleficent and stay with her when she grows old. Just like with Beowulf in his final battle against the dragon. All of his men flee except the one that stays loyal and cares for Beowulf, which is Wiglaf, in which they complete their goal of defeating the dragon and the goal of Maleficent and Aurora being safe from man. King Henry is the power-hungry king who rules the castle outside Maleficent's forest. He is the wealth giver and rewards Stephen for his accomplishment of killing Maleficent. King Hrothgar is not power-hungry, but he was also willing to give out large amounts of wealth depending on Beowulf's success. Stephen is a young boy in the woods whom Maleficent spotted when they were young. They were very close, and like referred to earlier, Stephen was told by King Henry after a couple of years that whoever would kill Maleficent, or the winged beast referred to by King Henry, would claim the crown and rule the kingdom. Stephen manages to poison her and bring her wings back to the king, which was enough to convince King Henry to give the throne to Stephen, even though Maleficent was still alive. This relates to Beowulf and how he was told by King Hrothgar that he would receive heavy amounts of treasure if he defeats the beast terrorizing the village in a mead hall.
In Maleficent, much of the setting is portrayed in the plot. The stream in the forest shown throughout the movie symbolizes life in the forest and in Maleficent. She starts off as an innocent young fairy who is robbed of her innocence and purity by someone close to her. Just like the river, which was full of rocks and banks, there are many obstacles throughout life that she has to fight through, but she just has to keep moving on. The stream is important because it's also where the magical creatures of the Forest Kingdom unite. When Maleficent is robbed of her wings, she takes out her anger of the kingdom and casts a spell. The forest grows thorn trees, and these thorns demonstrate Maleficent rebelling against the king and isolating herself from the kingdom. The thorns are like a mask. They hide the fact that Maleficent is good at heart. The thorns can also be seen as a barrier to keep out the evil from inside the castle. Maleficent isolates herself to protect herself from becoming completely evil. Maleficent uses the thorns to isolate society when she is rejected, much like how Grendel uses his dangerous lake to isolate himself in Beowulf. Grendel's mother tries to protect Grendel by using the lake, much like how Maleficent used the thorn forest to protect Aurora to keep her from the dangers of society. The Forest Kingdom and the King's castle contradict each other. The forest is full of life and colors, while the castle is meow dark and gloomy. The life in the forest portrays the good and purity of the Forest Kingdom, while the dark castle is used to portray the evil held inside the castle. This is a prime example of darkness versus light, or good versus evil. The forest is very similar to the mead hall in Beowulf, full of life and joy before the evil enters.
In Maleficent, they compare the worlds of light versus dark. Early on in the movie, Maleficent is a good fairy who wants the woods to be a happy and fun place to live. She helps animals in need and fixes trees that have been broken. Later in the movie, Maleficent gets her wings cut off and darkness cascades over her life and the woods. Her clothes change from a beautiful, lavish white to a dark and scary black. Her wings getting cut off symbolizes the end of her love for the woods, the animals, and especially the humans she first fell in love with. Her mindset changes from trying to save animals and trees to trying to take her wings back from Stefan. When she does get her wings back, Maleficent is instantly ecstatic, and her mood changes back to happy, joyous behavior. This is the same situation in Beowulf during Grendel's 12 Years of Terror. Beowulf takes on Grendel and defeats him in battle, but the victory is short-lived. Grendel's mother begins to slaughter innocent people and derails the victory celebrations. Beowulf is once again called to help the Danish people. After the battle with Grendel's mother, he lets out a victory roar similar to the roar of Maleficent when she gets her wings back.
During Beowulf's final battle, he must take on a fierce and dangerous dragon. Diaval turns into a dragon at the end of Maleficent to help her get her wings back. The dragon symbolizes the sins Maleficent committed to get her wings back and jealousy she felt when someone else had them. Diaval defeats many foes similar to the dragon that killed Beowulf.
We found many similarities to Maleficent and Beowulf.
Meow.
And we exploited them and their symbols to show how their true meow stories came together in such a beautiful and artistic way.
Meow.
Meow.